Good morning. Today I'm going to be making some stuffed peppers. The peppers I'm using are called Feher Ozon. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I grew several plants of these this year. They're a Hungarian paprika pepper. When they are first growing, they're like this yellowish white creamy color, and I've read apparently they're good for cooking with. They're like sweet pepper. I'm going to use these primarily to let them go all the way to red and make a smoked paprika and a regular paprika. So here I have 5 of them. I tasted them. They're a nice little bit of sweet pepper. I'm going to be stuffing them with chorizo and rice. So the first thing we're going to do here is cut out the seeds, remove the cap. I'm going to stuff them right down the middle when I've got it ready. Today I'll be using my homemade chorizo and a Jasmine rice. You can obviously use store-bought chorizo or whatever you want to put in your stuffing. I'm also, you can use whatever other peppers you want. I'm using these because I was anxious to kind of try them because I've never grown them before. I'm also going to be cooking my chorizo before it goes into the pepper. You don't have to do that. You can use raw sausage. You just got to make sure that you cook it till the internal temperature is 160 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to be cooking mine since the chorizo is already cooked to about 150. So here I have a half cup of raw jasmine rice into 1 cup of vegetable stock. Bring it to a simmer, stir it, cover it, low heat for 20 minutes, let it sit for 10 minutes covered, and then fluff it. Browning my chorizo. This is a very flavorful chorizo. Excellent recipe. Got a little bit of spice to it. I put chilies and adobo into mine. It's a very good sausage. I'm going to take the rice right into the sausage, into the chorizo, and kind of just the amount that I want. You can mix it however you want to do it. I ended up with a little bit of extra for the 5 peppers I had, and I'm going to end up doing a couple of green tomatoes here that I actually took off a volunteer plant in my garden. So I've got little strips of sharp white cheddar with a little strip of cream cheese on top of it. I was trying to figure out a couple different ways to stuff this pepper. I mashed the first one kind of into the meat and the rice, and next couple I kind of put the cheese in first, but they seem to have all come out all right. So kind of pack it in there. This one's starting to tear a little bit. Don't overstuff them because they will break, especially depending on the pepper. These are a little bit thicker of a pepper, so they hold up pretty well to packing in the meat and the rice and the cheese in there. And once they're all stuffed, the next step is going to be, I'm going to wrap them with bacon. And with the tomatoes, we're just going to kind of set some bacon on top so it can crisp up and drip down internally into the tomato. So here we go with the bacon wrapping. I'm just putting 1 piece on, kind of just wrapping it around a little bit around the top to kind of hold the stuffing in case it starts to fall out while it's cooking. And then we'll do each one like this. I'm going to be cooking on a Weber kettle today. With lump charcoal, a couple chunks of some oak that I had, and a couple chunks of some mesquite. Indirect heat. I'm going to start my fire, push all the coals off to one side, get it nice and hot, and then put these on the opposite side from the heat. I'm also going to brush these before I put them on with my homemade barbecue sauce. You can use whatever barbecue sauce you want. At 15 minutes, I will reapply more barbecue sauce, and then another 15 minutes, I'll add more barbecue sauce, Let them go 15, and then be right before the full 45 minutes is up. I'm going to put a little bit more sauce on. I have my peppers on, my tomatoes, indirect heat. This is my first 15 minutes. I'm going to add a little bit of that homemade barbecue sauce to them, just kind of brush it over them. They're already glazed with it for the first 15 minutes. I didn't really put an accurate thermometer in here, but my thermometer on the top of my kettle was saying it was 400. I know these kettles don't always have very accurate thermometers. This was just more by feel for me. I'm going to cover it back up and do the full next 15, and then another 15 after that, and then just a few minutes, and here they are. They came out fantastic. They're just one of the best things I've ever made. The green tomatoes are really juicy. It was just a great combination of things. You can obviously do what you want, different cheeses, different peppers, different sausage. There's a million ways to stuff peppers, but this one was one of my best.